Okay. So here we are doing this. We're going to do desktop audio at what, minus... Oh, it was at that, huh? We're going to do it at minus 10. We're going to go chocolate doom launch. Hey! Alright, well, hey, I'm Patrick. And I'm just taking a look at Doom Episode 1, Map 1. So the first thing that we see here is what looks like a lobby. Although there's like kind of a technological aspect to it. There's something up there that people, I guess, would be reading things from. I don't know why there would be computers up there, but this is sort of the whole level is like a first impression for this game, which ended up being totally groundbreaking and stuff. Came out in 1993. It's Doom, by the way, if you don't know. Basically, yeah, this level is obviously significant, as any first level would be of a game. So what we have here is a lobby. We have a stairs within stairs structure, which is significant in Doom's development for a reason that I'll get into in a little bit. We have a little bit of environmental storytelling with the fact that there's some sort of big red mess right there in the floor. That's a little kind of ominous foreshadowing, like something bad happened. So we already have, like, right at the beginning, something that looks fairly normal, fairly science fiction-y, and something really bad happened to some guy right there. And then there's this guy here who's also dead. And then there's also a barrel of toxic waste looking stuff, which doesn't exactly make sense here. I don't know why there would be barrels just laying around in something that looks pretty utilitarian, like pretty... I don't know why I said utilitarian. But let me bring you over here. If you look behind you, you can see where we came in. This door doesn't exactly look like a main door or main entrance to anything. It looks actually like a side door, like just a locker or something. Like it looks somehow the door looks unimportant, except for the fact that there is, since it's small and just like very not fancy. Although this is a military base, so maybe that makes sense for this to be a main entrance, since like maybe military types wouldn't care about things being more than just something they could use. We also have lights on either side, which just makes it look cool, but then something's wrong. Something's not quite right in this base because, well, the lights aren't working very well. They keep blinking. And then another thing I wanted to talk about is how this level presents choices to you right at the beginning. So we have, you can't really see the far corner over there, so maybe that doesn't really count. But if you just turn, first of all, you see something flashing over there, which might draw your attention. And there's a pathway over there. So there's some sort of, you have a choice to go there. You also have a choice to turn right and see, I guess, whatever the rest of this building is. That's what it looks like. So let's go over here. And then if you go further, you might be able to see that there is this area here, but it doesn't exactly draw your attention. From right back here, you almost can't see it. So that almost is like a bonus after, like, you're almost guaranteed to go this direction because you'll probably see this first. And then you'll also be looking at this. And it'll probably be irresistible for you to go here because, I mean, it looks pretty important, right? So, I mean, there's lights on either side of it. There's blinking things. It's a cool structure. So, chances are that Romero definitely intended you to need to go this way first. This is the less interesting way over here, but this is actually how you get to the end of the level. unless you use the secret, which is over here, which was added later in version 1.9 of Doom. This secret was not actually in the original, but I'll show you right now. This is a switch that you can pull that opens up this and goes in that exterior area. In the original version, there was a different way that you get here, which I will show you. Now, you see there's some sort of thing in that green stuff. It's basically, I don't know. You can't really tell what it is from here, but it looks like a vest, probably. So let's keep going. We have... We're picking up potions. And then these helmets, which are adding to our health and our armor. And then here's another thing that looks like that other thing over there, except it's green. And there's some sort of technological rotation thing happening here. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean or be exactly, but it looks cool. It draws your attention. It looks important. And then at the same time, you get a glimpse outside, which kind of adds to the atmosphere. So let's pick that up, and all of a sudden our armor is 100%. Whatever that means. We don't even really know. Now it's 101% because I picked up that helmet. We haven't encountered anything that really requires us to we haven't encountered any threats, only foreshadowing of threats, really. But since we need the armor, since we're seeing a bunch of dead guys, we know there's some bad stuff going down somewhere, or that went down somewhere. So here's our first interaction in the level, other than that switch that I showed you. And we have here... Oh, what are these guys? Are they our friends? No. All right. So we just killed a couple zombie-looking things. More blood, more guts. More dead soldiers. These soldiers look like us. If you didn't know, this is what the Doom guy looks like. And then a room that is slightly more abstract, where it's a little bit more apparent that there's something just otherworldly about this place. Computer consoles that don't really seem all that usable, since, like, well, how would people, like, even reach that if they're supposed to do something with that? Maybe they're not supposed to do anything with it, but it's basically a little hard to tell what the purpose of any of this is. We know that it's just technological, something technological. This looks like a stage of some kind, perhaps to talk to, like, a room of troops or something like that. I've always loved this at the top. These structures, I don't know where else we see this in the game, but here it's really badass. It's really cool. It just looks nice. You know, it kind of reminds me, actually, I don't know why I'm saying this. I guess maybe this type of thing is in the game GoldenEye, but it kind of reminds me of, like, some of the stuff in the movie and game GoldenEye, like these monitors hanging from the ceiling. There's something very James Bond-alike about it. Maybe it's also kind of reminds me of that movie Moonraker, where there's, like, there's that big room and a bunch of monitors looking at the stuff that's going down. But it's very science fiction. It's stereotypical science fiction, by, like, looks like a NASA center or something, because we're seeing planets, we're seeing just big monitors from the, like, on the ceiling up above, you know. And then also this room does a good job of showing off some more capabilities of the engine, of the new graphics engine for 1993, this new Doom engine, this id-Tech engine. We're seeing differences in light variation, in addition to differences in height variation of sectors. So there's definitely, like, more contrast going on here with the light, and that's just adds to kind of the feeling of coolness. It just looks cool, right? Contrast, right? So, and then there's this structure here, which actually, like, really adds a level of interest to the to this whole room. Otherwise, it'd be a big empty room. It wouldn't be very interesting. This structure, like, kind of hides the back of the room. It looks cool by itself, but at the same time, it gives us a reason to want to go around here. Because a lot of people would probably want to go around this way just to check it out, even though the way is obviously here. It also obstructs, I think, when we enter the room, we can't exactly see, we can barely see that exit over there. So this structure like totally draws our attention and draws us away from just going straight to the exit. We maybe would spend a few more seconds, because of the way this room's laid out, we would maybe spend a few more seconds in here just checking it out because it looks cool. And because it kind of like obstructs this entrance here instead of just going straight through. Now here, this room is a little bit more simple, a little more straightforward as far as it doesn't provide choices. These first two rooms, we see lots of choices. We have a choice to look out here, because that's definitely something to do. It's a cool thing to do. It's a fun thing to do. Look out and see like what we're dealing with, like get a little foreshadowing of what the shape of the level is. We have a choice to go over here, which is just a cool looking room. It looks important. We pick up something. We get a reward for exploring this area. And then we go into this room, and although it doesn't look like there's much choice here, there kind of is, because we can either go that way or we can go that way, and that's because of this big obstruction in the middle. Like what is on this side, we want to know, so we have to go over here and explore. So choices. In here, there's a choice of what to shoot first. So we have this guy, we have this guy. Now, this becomes a huge part of why Doom's combat is very interesting. There, you are presented with very different bad guys that do different types of things, move different ways, fire different ways, and it becomes a strategic choice. This was kind of our first very small segmented version of this, where it's a strategic choice to basically choose which enemy you are going to shoot first, because eventually it becomes very important, and you're just doing it second nature. You don't really thinking about it, but it eventually becomes very important as the game gets more difficult and throws more enemies at you at once. It becomes important, the choice of which one to shoot first, which one to take care of first. For instance, imps are that thing up there that was an imp that was throwing a fireball at me. It's fairly easy to dodge those fireballs. The ones that you really have to be more concerned with first are these characters called hit scanners, which, like this zombie, fires a gun that shoots a bullet at you, which is instant travel. So when it fires, if he hits you, it's you can't dodge that. So these guys aren't that much of a threat, but there are these other guys that are hit scanners that are called shotgunners, and I think they're called former sergeants, but shotgunners, whatever. They carry shotguns, and they are a real threat, especially in large numbers. So these imps are harder to take down, though. So they take a lot of shots, but their projectiles are easy to dodge generally. All right. And then you don't really see it here because of the difficulty level I'm playing at, but this is kind of a tactical challenge. Usually there's more guys here. I'll go through it again to show you what this game is like at on a harder difficulty, or what this level is like on a harder difficulty. Also, I really need to say real quick that there's no logical sense to this room. What's interesting about this room is that there's literally no logical sense to it. It's like hell has taken over. I like to think of it, my contextual explanation for it, even though I know that Romero, the designer of this level, just wanted to make something that looks cool, and he does, and it kind of shows off what the graphics engine can do too, with the just lines going everywhere. You don't have to do right angles. Like, there's definitely no right angles, like, if you can avoid it. Because that would make it be like the Wolfenstein, and they want their game to be totally obvious that it looks better than Wolfenstein. But this is also kind of like a precursor to, or like a foreshadowing of where the game ends up going, which is eventually it's the descent into hell. And as you go further into hell, things get crazier and wilder. And this is like a foreshadowing of that, because this is as crazy as things look for a while. In the next level, things get a little bit more normal looking compared to this. But in the later episodes, it definitely looks way more crazy. And this is kind of the thing. It's like there would be no reason why a military base would have anything like this, but it looks awesome, and it could be explained away by, well, hell is invading, hell is changing the world, something like that. And then you might have noticed that this opened up. By going down that hallway, I opened up a secret over here. So there's lots of secrets in Doom. Doom is kind of not one of the first like secrets games, but it's basically popularized the idea of putting secrets in. No, well, did it? No, it didn't. It did not, because I think it was pretty popular already within games to put secrets. But I don't know. It just became kind of a cool thing that really adds to the interest level of this, adds to the replayability of the game, and that's something really special about it, because you actually get this feeling that you've never really explored all of it, because there will be secrets that you won't find. I mean, unless you look them all up. But like, if you just play this game normally, it'll take you a while to find all the secrets. They're not obvious. There are little hints along the way. And there's a good example of a reward that also that is a challenge. Like, this stuff kills you, but I wanted that, so I got in there, and it was kind of a tense experience, because it's like, well, you got to get in and get out. There's a lot of that in this game, where it's a push and pull. There's a reward that entices you to go a direction, but then you're punished for going there, you know. But you got your reward, hopefully, you know. So, really interesting, really good game design throughout this game. It's an excellent example of great game design, and that's why there's so many people that are passionate about Doom and about analyzing Doom's levels. So I'm going to get one more secret here. This is another thing I could show that was cool about what the engine was capable of. So, how did this happen? Because when you go out here, wait, watch, bam. Okay, fake wall. So, and then it's a dead giveaway that there's something wrong up there because the texture isn't right. So there's all sorts of hints like that that help you figure out where the secrets are. But still, I don't know where all of them are. I haven't learned where all of them are yet. I'm not really so interested in being a completionist like that. But anyway, and then switch, end the level. All right. Let me go one more time through this new game. But this time I'm going to go on Ultraviolence. It's a much different experience on Ultraviolence. One thing being that your first encounter is right over here. You see these two shotgunners. And this is one of my favorite encounters in the game, actually. It's really an interesting encounter. And you'll see why in a second. So I got both of them, right? Okay, I'm going to go up there. Okay, I just heard something. And I'm getting hurt. Okay, I'm going to grab this armor. What the hell did I just hear? Okay, it's one of these guys. And another one. So that's really cool. That's like a monster trap without any sort of complicated programming or anything. What I mean by monster trap is where it's like monsters pop out of unexpected places, and they usually it's involving like a hidden door that opens up, and there's a lot of that in Doom. But this is like a really cool, interesting encounter that was created by just hiding two shotgunners behind those pillars. And what makes it more of a challenging thing is in Doom you can't look up and down. So when I'm like over here, it's like hard for me to see. So I have to jump down there and put myself in harm's way to just see the guys. And so it's this interesting decision you have. It's a very tense experience right here. It's definitely brilliant game design. Like just this one experience right here, you get that feeling of oh shit, what do I do, how do I shoot them? And then you realize, oh, I have to jump down here, and then you're in harm's way. So it's just a really tense experience, which is nice, and it's a cool kind of clever way to hide the monsters. All right, let's just take these guys out now. So there's more guys now. Oh, another tricky thing where there's, I think there was a shotgunner here and a shotgunner here that you didn't see when entering the room. Got to check those corners. so what he's doing is making really good use of the environment as ways of hiding monsters, putting monsters in tricky spots. Makes you have to be a good kind of trains you as a gun wielding soldier guy. You gotta remember to check those corners. All right. And the shotgun is probably one of the most satisfying guns ever to be put in a video game. It's really satisfying to fire this thing. All right. And I don't mean shotguns in general. I mean this specific shotgun. Like, the way this shotgun feels is amazing. It was only topped later by Doom 2's double barrel shotgun, which is even more satisfying. Something about it. I don't know how they've nailed the feel of the shooting in this game, but that's I mean, probably one of the main reasons this game was so popular is the shooting mechanic really feels nice. Like, I mean, forget the level design. Like, the level design's great, and it wouldn't be nearly what it is without the amazing level design, but the shooting is... this game needed both, you know, for it to be the monster hit that it was. It needed the brilliant feeling combat and the brilliant feeling level design. Bam. All right. So anyway, that's my kind of supplementary redo episode. I did one earlier. Feel free to watch it, but I don't think it's very good. I mean, it's okay. It just kind of starts off it's a little shaky. So yeah, there's my current analysis of this level. Thanks for joining me. And next time I will be going into the second level of Doom. So thank you guys. And yeah, that's it.